everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Growing and Glowing Through Social Work YouTube channel. How's everyone doing? So before we get into anything, I do have some quick announcements. Please disregard this pimple on my face. Please, it's just throwing me all off. Like, I'm looking directly at it. Sorry, y'all. Disregard the pimple. I don't know why my face is breaking out, but this little thing is really driving me insane. But nonetheless, an announcement. So this Friday, April 19th, I am going to be going live, you guys. I am going to going live. And the reason being because I want to interact with you all. During real time, right? Not just during these videos. I want to be able to kind of talk to you all and answer your questions right there, right on the spot. I want you all to get to know who I am. And I want it to be very personable. So this Friday, you guys, I'm going live April 19th. Again, follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Follow this page on Instagram. If you are not following it, you are doing yourself a disservice, because that's where you really stay plugged into what is going on, into what is yet to come. You guys, God has really been pouring into me and sharing with me great things that are going to be coming from this channel. So I need you all to stay plugged in. I don't want you all to miss out on what is about to happen. So April 19th, I'm going live. Follow me on Instagram for more information at GG Social Work. Again, at GG Social Work. Follow now. When this video airs, that means my notification needs to be lighting up of people following, okay? Because that is how, you know, we are going to grow. Again, we are a community. I told y'all since day one, we are family. I'm not about to let y'all be out here just struggling on your own. It's not happening. It's not happening. So again, we are going to grow together. We are going to glow together. And so in this community, I want you all to really just be active. Ask me questions. Ask each other questions. So Friday, going live. All right. So let's hop right into it. You guys, this has been a great week, okay? This has been a great week, and simply because of yesterday. Yesterday, I received some great news. Some great news that is going to, it is definitely going to alter my career. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy for it. It's going to be a new challenge. And I know I'm talking like around exactly what it is, but because I know it's going to happen, so when it comes to play, I will definitely let y'all know. I would definitely share to you all what it is, the news that I have received. So that is I did it all backwards, but that's the glowing point, right? That's my glowing point of this week. A growing pain that I had for this week was being lazy, not waking up when I'm supposed to wake up, just not completing certain tasks after I come home from work. Like, I was being real lazy, y'all. I was being real lazy, just sleeping late past normal. That is it. And in the comments, you guys, let me know some of your growing pains and your glowing points. If you all are new to this channel, I invite you to watch the very first episode, The Lifelong Journey, because that's where you are going to kind of get to know who I am and kind of get to know more about what this channel strives to do. And follow on Instagram, as I mentioned earlier, at GG Social Work. And I'm going to keep saying that until forever, because I need y'all to follow. Okay, so let's hop right into the topic discussion. I'm ready. I hope you all are ready, because let me tell you, I want y'all to get y'all notebooks. I tell y'all this every episode. Get y'all notebooks. Get y'all notebooks. Y'all already know I have Old Faithful right here. I have Old Faithful. Oh, she got little notes coming out on the side, but I have Old Faithful right here because, again, this is another episode that you are going to want to write this down. You don't want to, like, watch this video and then have to come back. Even though it is here for you to do exactly that, but in the process, again, I want you all to be able to watch this video, pause where you need to pause. I'm definitely going to tell y'all when to pause this video so you could process your thoughts. But because this is the type of channel where you are going to be, you can't be doing anything, right? You can't be washing the dishes. You can't be in the shower. You like, because I know some people like listen to stuff when they're in the shower. Like I do that too. I listen to certain podcasts when I'm in the shower. You can't be really driving. You have to really be in a space where you are about to write. You are about to work. And I want my channel to be as that reference, okay? And that is what it is for. So get those journals. I'm about to pause this video because y'all already know after I start talking a lot, I got drink me some water so I could be hydrated. So I'm gonna pause it. I hope y'all pause the video. Well, I'm gonna pause it. Well, I'm gonna stop it right here, and I'm gonna go get my water. When I come back, when you guys press play again, because I want you all to pause it. Get your water, get your journal, get your pen. If you need more pens, get some more pens, get your highlighters, get whatever it is that you need to really, to write some notes. Because I'm not playing no more. Like, again, I tell y'all this every week. I told y'all since day one, we are not doing the cute stuff. We are doing the groundwork up. Because there's no more us being conventional. God has called us to do a lot of things, and it's unconventional, right? We are not going to be in this field doing conventional social work. Time has called us to be different. The climate that we are in right now, it's unconventional. It's uncommon. So we got to start doing uncommon things as social work students, as prospective social workers, right? Still upholding the code of ethics, right? We are not going to divvy away from that ever, because that's what set us apart. We are bound by the code of ethics that is going to adhere how we move in this field. But nonetheless, that does not require us to be boring social workers. We're not going to be boring social work students. So I'm pausing the video. I'm about to go get me some water. Come back with your journal and your pen, anything, a sheet of paper. So all right, you guys, so I am back. I hope you all are ready. I just sipped me on some little bit of water because, again, my health is a priority and I need to stay hydrated. And so we are back. This episode, as you all can see, is called What is Feeding You? What is feeding you? And I want you all to really let that marinate. There's going to be a point in this episode that you are going to definitely reflect and definitely pause the video and to write the things that are feeding you. So write that down somewhere. Just quickly write what is feeding you and think about it. What is feeding you? We are entering a new season, you guys. Whether you realize it or not, you all are not watching this episode by accident. You're not. And I know y'all hear the pastor say that all the time when you come to church, but I genuinely believe that God has placed me on this earth for a reason, and he has placed you all on this earth too for a reason. He gave us all purpose. And right now we're in the season of getting in alignment with that purpose, or trying to find out what that purpose is. And so by you watching this, you are either a social work student, you're interested in social work, and you want to do things differently. You know that you have been called to help a certain population, but you are feeling stuck. You are feeling like you cannot do what it is that you need to do because you are not licensed. You don't have the respect and licensure. But let me tell you something. You could implement change at any level. You truly can. And I'm not gonna go into like how you could do that right now, but we're not doing that boring type of social work. So again, we are entering a new season. Say with me, we are entering a new season. And so my pastor had preached about, I think I already told y'all this in the last episode, but it really stuck with me. My pastor had preached about us entering an uncommon season, right? Therefore, if we are entering an uncommon season, right? We are entering a season of uncomfortability. We are entering a season that is going to require us to be uncomfortable. We are entering a season that is going to require us to stretch. Therefore, we are vulnerable. We are vulnerable. We are vulnerable. We are vulnerable. We are like an absorbing sponge right now. And that is why we have to be careful of what is feeding us. So that's why I want you all to really think about what is feeding you. We are very uncomfortable during this season, right? Since we are so uncomfortable during this season, there's a couple of things that we must do to kind of figure out what is feeding us. So right now we are pregnant. We are pregnant with an ideal, right? We are pregnant with our purpose. We are about to give birth to what it is that is growing inside of us. And as we are pregnant, right? When you're pregnant and with a child, you can't just eat anything. You can't be around people that smoke because it's bad for the baby, right? You can't eat fish because the mercury that is in the fish. There are a lot of things you can't do, too many things, because that is going to cause trauma on the baby. So as you are in this season, right, as you are in this uncommon season, this uncomfortable process, we are vulnerable, and you have to be mindful of the things that are surrounding you and the things that are feeding you and that is feeding your baby, right? So now that this idea is burning on the inside of you, you have this idea that it's about to give birth, and now this idea is here. Now you're even more vulnerable. You are even more, and I'm saying vulnerable because when we are vulnerable, it's easy for people to manipulate us, and being vulnerable is something that we struggle with. But there comes a point in some time in our lives where we have to be vulnerable, and this is the time that we have to be vulnerable, that we have to remain humble, that we have to stay on our face and praying to God and asking Him for a direction, because we have to be careful of what is feeding us. We have to ask God for discernment, so we know what is supposed to be feeding us, what are the wrong things that we have to quickly cut off. So again, what is feeding you? What is feeding you? Again, think of you, and I'm using this analogy because I want us to think how we are so protective over pregnant people, and how when we are pregnant, or I don't know if you guys are a parent. If you've never been pregnant before, you probably understand or heard stories of how people are very protective over pregnant people, right? And so in this season, you need to be protective over yourself, which lead me to my first point. In this uncomfortable season, in this uncommon season, during this uncomfortable process of you being vulnerable, you have to be protected. You have to be protected over yourself. You have to be protected over the baby. The baby is this idea that you are about to give birth to, or that you already have, and you have to be protected over it. So let me tell y'all a quick story. So I already told y'all how this YouTube channel was given to me, how God just dropped it really heavily on my spirit. I found out that I was about to do this YouTube channel. I was hesitant. I was hesitant of telling people. Because this is like something that I'm getting better at. God will just drop so many. Well, I will receive so many ideas, right? I would get all these things of what I should do, what I should implement. I don't know if I told you guys this, but that is just who I'm naturally. I'm really a creative person. And so I would have all these ideas of what I'm gonna do. I would like plan it on paper, like I would have it down to the T, but I would never implement. And that was the issue. I would never give birth to what was inside of me. I was essentially just letting it just sit there. And when I used to do that, I used to tell my friends like, "Oh, wouldn't this be interesting? Wouldn't this be interesting? Wouldn't that be interesting?" And one of my friends was like, "Janelle, why don't you ever do what it is that you say you're going to do?" And oh, she read me so quick, you guys. Like she checked me so quick. I'm like, that's true. Why is it? And I know what it was. I wasn't as confident, I was like, who's really gonna listen to little old me, right? I'm not qualified yet. That type of that thinking, that is not of God, right? He didn't create us to be timid. He didn't give us that type of spirit. He gave us the spirit of discipline, self-love, and power. That's me talking like, where was the power, the self-love, and the discipline in that? There wasn't any. That was the enemy. And so I made up my mind, and she wasn't doing that to throw shade on me, but it really was like, Janelle, the pudding, what is it? The pudding, the proof is in the pudding. So I didn't have no proof. I didn't have no proof that the pudding was like, I had it. I don't know if I'm using that analogy right, but I didn't have no proof. So I said, you know, I'm going to keep it to myself as much as possible. I'm only going to share with who I feel that God is telling me to share this channel with. So I kept it to myself for a while. Like, I didn't reveal to anyone. And I think I received this idea probably in January, early February. I'm not sure. And then I didn't let everyone know for real. Like, I didn't put it on social media until March 1st. And by then I had recorded an episode. But I ended up redoing that episode. But nonetheless, like, I was very committed to dropping this YouTube channel, right? I was so committed into dropping it. So we have to be protective over what it is that we are doing. We must be protective over what it is, what we are doing before it, but while it's kind of growing, in that growing stage. Because so many times people will post on social media and say like, oh, I'm gonna start this, or I'm gonna do this, and they get mad like cookies for doing something they ain't even do yet. Like, we're not doing that. And sometimes we mess up our blessings by running our mouths, right? We mess up, and that's a word for somebody. We mess up our blessings by running our mouth too quickly. God didn't tell you to go tell your best friend. God ain't run and tell you go tell your boyfriend. God ain't want you to go run and go tell the people that you run with. Like, the people in your class, like, he ain't want you to tell those people. So stop. We got to learn how to really be quiet and start doing the work, doing the groundwork before we start telling people. So if I ain't tell y'all nothing else, I really want y'all to take that. I want y'all all to be protective over your baby. Your business ideal is your baby. Be protective of it. You don't have to tell. I'm not telling you not to tell people, but I want you to really discern who to share this with. Who to share it with. And before you go run and do anything, really consult with God first. Tell him first. Don't DM me first until you consulted God. Like, don't do that. Once you got confirmation from him, by all means, let's start the conversation. But be protective. And even after, and so after I had revealed to people that, you know, I was doing this YouTube, you know, so I'm thinking like, okay, now I gotta really start getting followers. Like, how am I gonna get people to kind of follow, to be I don't want to like saying following, but how can I get people to come along this journey with me? And so right now, for those who do not know, I'm in grad school, right? I go to Fordham, and I was in class, and two of the girls I talk with, one, she cool people, they cool people. And so I end up telling both of them that, like, hey, follow my YouTube, Instagram page, yada yada yada, at GG Social World. I have a YouTube. I was basically just telling them, like, I have a YouTube channel, and what it's for. Tell me why, y'all. Tell me why. One of the girls just laughed in my face. I was looking like, what? The other girl, that you know I'm cool with too, she was looking like, what's funny? She looked at her like, she was like, ooh, you mean? And I was looking like, nah, it's cool. Because now I know where you stand. And even after, and I'm telling y'all this because I'm pretty sure she may watch. I don't know. I really don't care how she see, because she did what she did and it rubbed me the wrong way. But from that moment, I said, even the people that you rock with, or, you know, kind of rock with, are not are really not going to follow your vision, are really not going to really support. And she didn't laugh. She laughed, and after she had laughed, she said, "So you're gonna be like, oh, welcome to my YouTube channel." Like she was mocking people how they, do the whole intro, like, "Welcome to my YouTube channel." Like, I get it or whatever, but your first thing was to laugh, and then later she said like, "No, I'm not mean." Well, she said later, after that, she said, it's a unique niche. Not a lot of people are talking about that on YouTube. Like, it's a good idea. Why couldn't that been your first response? I don't know. When people show you their colors the first time, believe them. Don't wait a second time. And the thing is, I wasn't even like wanting them to. I just wanted them to follow. Like, just wanted to come along the journey with me, because we're in the same. We're in the same major. We're doing something similar. I believe that by you taking along this journey with me, it will help. It will help the both of us. But needless to say, they both did not follow. But I want you all to be very protective. Really be very protective, and also pray to God. Pray to God for the people that are going to be coming along with you on this journey. Obviously, she wasn't the right. She not the right one, and maybe I was out of turn for even like telling them, like, right. But not everybody that you rock with is gonna come along with you during this journey. So that's why we must stay protective over what we do before and after. Before and after the journey, we must still remain protective over our business, because listen, if you listen to people would just quickly count you out of things and make you just stop what it is that you are doing. So that is point number one. We must remain protective over our business. We must. So point number two, you guys. Point number two. We have to start removing people in this season. Everybody is not going to go to the top with us. So the first set of people you definitely want to remove and start taking inventory of, that you are in community with, are the doubters. You have to cut them short, because again, we are vulnerable. And since we don't have that, since we don't have that tough skin yet, if you are not all the way comfortable with hearing from the Lord, you have to cut off the doubters, because they are going to start having you question what is already divine for you. They're going to have you question your purpose. Because right now, to them, you may not look what it's like to run a business, right? You may not look what it's like to start doing things on your own or to making money. Right now, you probably don't even got enough money to buy yourself some lunch. But they don't see the vision like how you see it, or how God has given it to you. They don't see it. And so they start questioning you and be like, "Are you sure you're supposed to leave your job right now? What about your kids?" They mean well, but again, you have to remove the doubters, right? They start questioning you and having you start thinking, like, second guessing yourself. You don't need that in this season. You don't need that in this season. And so you remove them as quickly as possible. And the second type of people you definitely want to remove are the haters. The haters, you cut them off immediately. Again, and what I want to say about cutting off the haters, again, everybody is not going to support you. Your best friends are not going to support you. And the thing is, that is okay if they don't support you, because you are serving a specific niche, right? You are serving a specific niche. Everything ain't for everybody. And people are going to hate on you regardless. And I want us to kind of change this mentality of, oh, I'm a work hard so all my haters could see me shining. What? Why are we doing that? I hate when people say stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna prove my haters wrong. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. What I want us to do is start working hard and start thriving, improving ourselves right, proving our Lord right, and proving the people that always believe in us from jump. So we are removing the doubters, we are removing the haters, right? People are going to hate regardless. People are not going to understand the vision. They are always going to take issue to what you're doing. They're going to be like, oh, last week she was out there twerking, now she want to be talking about God. Those are haters. Last week she claimed she broke, now she only doing this. Last week she said she broke, she just trying to do a little a quick hustle to get some money. She's scamming y'all. Those are haters. Those are haters. Haters are people that haters are people that believe you cannot grow overnight. Well, haters are people that believe you cannot grow, right? People, they don't see it. Cause you could change at any second. Once you've been convicted of like, oh dang, I don't think I should be doing this, and the next day or the next day, and not even the next day, the next hour, you made up your mind, say, I'm gonna start doing things differently. And you gonna have your haters say, throwing shade on you, like she was just doing that last week. Remove them. You are vulnerable. You do not need that type of energy, because that type of energy is going to throw you all the way off. Remove it. Now, remove those type of people. If you follow them on social media, you have to remove them now. Remove the doubters, right? And again, sometimes the doubters and the haters, they could be family. They could be people that is really close knit in your community. But you gotta be protective. We have to be protected. And again, like I said, not everybody is gonna be at the top with us. It gets lonely at the top. The higher we climb, it's gonna get lonely. It's gonna get more narrow. So we gotta remove. The third thing we must do in this season, in this uncommon season, the season of us being in this uncommon season, during this uncomfortable process of us being vulnerable, we must cleanse from social media. We must. Because when we are vulnerable, we are susceptible to just absorbing anything that is going to have us feeling us which way. And especially when you are just growing your relationship in Christ, and when you are struggling with self-esteem, social media will really have you tripping. Social media will really have you convinced that you are supposed to be a billionaire right now. How I'm supposed to be a billionaire right now, and I just graduated undergrad? I got, like, how? With what experience? Like, social media will have you fooled. Social media will have you wishing people relationship goals was your goals, people career goals was your goals. Like, you don't need that type of energy in this season. You don't need that type of energy in this season. And so what I highly suggest, anybody, it could be anything. And if I'm being transparent, right? I have like this therapist in my head, like she's my mentor, y'all. I have two actually, but one is really like, I really think she my mentor. I study her. And at one point I noticed when I was feeling like unfulfilled at work, when I was feeling like I should be doing more with my life, like I know that there is more, right? I was looking at her on social media, and I'm like, that's it. And she's not necessarily, she wasn't nobody that was like, she's not anyone that's like I would consider to be a hater, or she just flashing. Like, she not flashy or anything else. But I was getting I was inspired by what she was doing, but I also was looking at her like, I should be doing that right now. Why can't I? And the thing is, like, I had to catch myself. I had to really think, like, hold up, Janelle. She been in this field how long? How much longer than you? And you are just an MSW student. Like, she's a licensed clinical social worker. You only have, like, and I had to really, like, really keep it real with myself. And even if she was an MSW student, that's still, her journey is not my journey. And that's what we have to realize when we are on social media. People's journeys are not like our journey. Yes, someone could be doing something similar to you. They could probably be doing the exact same thing, but their journey is not your journey, and that is what separates that is what makes you unique. You are only you. There's no other you. If you are a twin, You are only you. You are, just because y'all got the same face, it's identical, does not mean there's a difference. Of course, there's always a difference. There's always going to be something that is going to separate you from the rest. You guys can have the same niche population. You guys can be doing the exact same thing. But it's that one little thing that it separates you, and that one little thing makes the biggest difference. So if you are on social media right now, anybody that makes you feel some type of way, that makes you feel like you should be doing this right now, unfollow them. Unfollow them. For me, I think I went a month without social media, without Instagram. I had to like really pull back from Instagram. Like, I had to, because I was like, oh my goodness, I should be doing this. Oh my goodness. And it could be stuff that you ain't never thought about before. Like, somebody could, if you're not even, like, for example, you're not even thinking about like being in a relationship, but when you see like a cute couple, you be like, oh my god, well, I'm not in a relationship. Like, social media will really have you tripping, for real, for real. And in this season, in this season of us being vulnerable, we don't need it. I'm telling y'all, we don't need it. And I'm not saying I'm not saying just because we're vulnerable, we are not strong. Yes, we're strong. I think there's strength in us being vulnerable. But if our mindset is not there, all the way there, we got to keep it real with ourselves. If our mindset is not all the way there, and we are thinking like that, it's time to start unfollowing people. It's time to start unfollowing some of those negative energies, for real, because that is just going to put a damper on ourselves. And again, I mean, and it's probably going to only be for this season. Once you build that backbone, once you build that strength to be able to be back on social media, go back on social media. But right now, during this season, it's time to remove yourself. It's time to go back to God, seek Him first, and everything else will and shall follow. Which brings me to my point. Once we are cleansing from social media, or cleansing from, or not even just social media, but social media is a really big part of our lives, right? I think social media is a good thing, but when it comes to the point that it becomes detrimental to our mental health, our self-esteem, it's time to remove it. It's time to cleanse from it until we develop the tools to kind of cope with those feelings. So let me just do a little. Which brings me to my last point. What we must do in this season, we must stay in God's presence. We must stay in His presence. We must continuously be intentional on seeking God, asking Him for answers, asking Him for direction, asking Him for clarity, asking Him for wisdom. We must, because again, we are vulnerable. The only supernatural power that could sustain us is Jesus, is Him. So we must stay at His presence. I gave you all these points, right? What we must do in this season, since we are vulnerable, what we must be aware of. And I'm gonna quickly go over them. 1, we must be protective. That is the key thing. We must be protective over what is being birthed inside of us before and after we give birth. 2, we have to start removing people. We have to remove the doubters, because the doubters are going to have us questioning what God has already told us. And it's going to have us stagnant. It's going to leave us complacent. And we got to remove the haters. We got to remove the haters, because the haters are going to allow us to be bitter, and we're going to be operating in that type of energy. And we don't need that. We don't need it in this season. The third thing is to cleanse from social media. You have to cleanse from social media. You should not be waking up to social media. You should not be spending your morning with social media before you spend your time with the Lord. You should not be doing that. because social media is going to social media gives you this filter journey, this filter perception of what it is that what you should be doing. We must cleanse for social media. We must. We may have to do a little challenge. That may be a challenge. But and the fourth thing is to stay in God's presence. Seek him. Seek the kingdom. Seek him. Seek him. Ask him for the direction. Ask him for the vision. Ask him to write it out plain for you all. Okay? Ask him. Ask him. And wait. Let me tell. And the thing is, when we ask God these things, we think it's gonna happen overnight. So I got a little itch in my head. When we ask God these things, we think it's gonna happen overnight. Nah, boo. It's gonna take a little while. But in the meantime, you are still working. You are still working, because faith without work is dead. God is going to order your steps. So that is what I want you all to get. So now it's about to be the practical thing to figure out what is feeding us. And so what we are about to do, we are about to create an eco map. Yeah, my social workers, y'all already know what an eco map is. So I want you all to pause this video. Well, I'm about to pause this video because I need some water. And we are about to get into the practical way, about to figure out what is exactly feeding us. So pause this video and think.